Hiya folks, good morning from Berlin's Central Station. Now I've been to Berlin a couple of times, but I only just realised this morning I've never seen it in daylight. Well, that all changes today because we've got a full day to go and explore, and I've got a couple of places in mind that I'd like to see. But the question is, Berlin, will it take my breath away? Let's go and find out. Ah, look at this river or canal. It's a beautiful calm morning. But it's late November and that means daylight's going to be limited. I'll race around as many places as I can, but I think it is going to take my breath away. Now the first place I'm rushing to is called the Reichstag building, and the reason I'm in a hurry is because I've got a reservation and I'm a bit late I think, but there's a dome there and that gives you a lovely view over the city apparently, so I think that's a nice way to start the day. Now I'm pretty sure this is like a historic building we're going to, but it's got a very modern twist. And it should be just round the corner here. Oh wow, it is beautiful. But I just hope they let me in because I'm running late. They had very specific instructions. What a place, it's massive. But then so's the whole of Berlin. And as is typical with me, the main entrance is a construction site at the moment. So we need to find a way in. Well, it wasn't that way. Maybe around here. I think the word I'd use for it is imposing, but how do we get in? Oh my god, I think that's the Brandenburg Gate over there, and I think I'll be going there next. This is so cool. Please be the visitor entrance. No, I don't think it is. Ah, this way. Typical, it was right round the other side. Wow, this must be a government building or something. Just to get this far, there was airport style security in there. They were checking my ID really closely, making sure my date of birth matched. And that's just to get this far, we're not even inside yet. What a place, eh? And here we are up in the terrace with the dome behind us. This is very different, isn't it? If you're wanting to come here as well, I'd advise making a reservation even before you leave home, because like I say, they're very strict about admittance, and I think this is the #1 place to visit on TripAdvisor for Berlin, so it'll get very busy. And here we are at the top. It's funny, this is a beautiful building, but the whole reason I came up here this morning was to show you the views, and it's a gorgeous day, but you're always behind glass, and for some reason that glass is all steamed up this morning. So I can't show you anything, sorry. So down we go again, no time to waste today. I gotta be honest, that was a wee bit disappointing. All you get are these wee peaks out over the city. There's actually more of a view just going up and down than there is at the top. Very strange. I've got a funny feeling that maybe the windows will clear as the day goes on, so maybe first thing in the morning isn't the time to visit. My reservation was at 8:15 and it's 8:30 now, I'm leaving already. Although, that being said, that's just the dome. We've still got the terrace, which is fairly high up. We're going to get some good views from here, I reckon. Nah, everything's a bit distant, to be honest. Berlin's a big city and it's well spread out, so maybe coming up high to places like this isn't the best way to see it. Let's move on, we'll get back down to ground level. Is this the way out? Yes. So there we are folks, the dome at the Reichstag building. Bit of a strange one. I think I'm going to give it a breathtaking rating of 4 out of 10. I mean, it's a beautiful building, maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but it just feels like the attraction that you come here for isn't really fit for purpose. Let's move on. And it's certainly not worth going through the airport scanners over there just to get in. Right, I think we'll go to the Brandenburg Gate next because it's so close. I'm just waiting back a wee bit till the Hare Krishna boy's gone. That's not really the soundtrack I want in my video today. So there we are, the Brandenburg Gate. I think it's best viewed from the other side, so let's walk through it first. And we'll go right through the middle, eh? Now there used to be gates like this all around the city, but this is the only one that's left. It dates from the 18th century, and these were originally used as customs checks, would you believe? Now this one's called the Brandenburg Gate because it leads to the city of Brandenburg, and up at the top you can see Victoria, the Roman goddess of victory. And if we swing round just next to the gate, we've got the US Embassy, and there's something else American just up here.
Buenos días a todos.
But I can't find it. I think I'm on the wrong side of the gate. So let's go back through. Oh, I'm certainly catching it in some beautiful light this morning, eh? And there it is, I've found it, the Ronald Reagan plaque. Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate, tear down this wall. So here on June... I was standing reading the plaque and then these guys just came and stood right in front of me. So let's see what it says. Here on June the 12th, 1987, Ronald Reagan, President of the United States of America, challenged the Secretary General of the Soviet Union, Mikhail Gorbachev, to demonstrate the sincerity of his country's desire for peace by opening the Brandenburg Gate and tearing down the Berlin Wall. 2.5 years later, on the evening of November 9th, 1989, the world watched in amazement as the people of East Germany poured through the openings in a wall which had effectively ceased to exist. But of course, when I think of that historic day in 1989, who comes to my mind? David Hasselhoff. And in that bombshell, let's move on to the Palace of Tears. Oh yeah, the Brandenburg Gate. I'll give it a rating of 8 out of 10. A beautiful historic place, one of a kind. It's just not as big as I expected. Oh, I can smell food and it's reminded me I haven't had breakfast yet, so I may well get distracted on the way to the next attraction. In fact, a nice smell might be coming from this wee cafe. Let's go in. Oh, is that an omelette? I fancy that, you know. So breakfast is served and boy am I ready for it. We've got a lovely bacon omelette roll and a proper freshly squeezed orange juice. Cheers. I think we're doing okay so far. It's just gone 9:30. It gets dark around about 3-4 o'clock in late November, so we do still need to focus a wee bit, but we're doing alright. Oh, this is really good, by the way. Oh, that hit the spot, my perfect breakfast. I'm getting into the habit now of not checking reviews of places to eat, but just going where I see lots of local people. And so far, it's worked for me every time. Bahnhof Friedrichstraße. I had to cross the road because I just love that sign for the S-bahn entrance. And I dash back across the road because I'm looking for the Palace of Tears. I think it's over here. I've just got no idea what it looks like. That station is gorgeous. You know what? I think this is it here. And it's called in German Tränenpalast. Palace of Tears to us English speakers. Aye, so this beautiful building behind me used to be a border crossing between East and West Berlin, and it's called the Palace of Tears because it's the place where a lot of family members and friends would have to say goodbye to each other before going their separate ways. Let's go and have a look inside. Hello. Thank you, thank you.
Wir sind sehr traurig, aber wir hoffen, dass wir uns doch noch mal wiedersehen können in der nächsten Zeit.
Übergang Friedrichstraße eine furchtbare Kontrolle über sich ergehen lassen müssen.
This is such a fascinating little exhibition that gives you a real sense of how crazy this place was back in the day. Families torn apart. You've got to come and see this if you're in Berlin. Each of these little suitcases you can hear a very personal story from segregated Berlin.
We had everything. There was always enough to eat. If anything too much. For the East, we were doing very well.
Despite the exhibition itself being so good, it's the building for me that's the star of the show. It's absolutely beautiful. But I hadn't appreciated that these were the actual checkpoints in situ where they would have been back in the day where you'd cross from east to west. Absolutely incredible, eh? Imagine going through one of these booths, if you even would have the opportunity to do so, eh? Would they stamp my passport? I doubt it. Nice phone. That's the fall of the Berlin Wall. I think that's where we should go next, eh? I love the contrast of the colours between the Palace of Tears and the railway station beyond. Beautiful, isn't it? Well, that was amazing. Just a small building, but with so much history. I would give the Palace of Tears, or the Tränen Palace as it's known in German, a breathtaking rating of 10 out of 10. If you're in Berlin, you've got to come and see this place. I'm now going to jump on the S-bahn to our next place. It's only about a mile away, but I've got a day ticket. I might as well use it, eh? S-bahn 1 to 6. I've got no idea if I'm on the right S-bahn. We'll soon find out. It was a bit of a rushed decision, I'm afraid. Again, look at those signs, they're beautiful. Here we are at Nordbahnhof. This is one of the old ghost stations, again between the east and the west. Sorry, you probably couldn't hear me there, but I've jumped off the S-bahn at Nordbahnhof. Now, back in the day, this would have been one of the ghost stations as they were known, and that's where the trains from West Berlin would pass through the station, but they wouldn't stop, and the guards from the east would have been looking out for deserters. Now, I'm not sure how much the station has changed since those days, but I think there is an exhibition somewhere, so we should try and find that. So this station would have been deep in East Berlin, and they'd have to brick up the tunnels just to stop people escaping to the west. Imagine passing through a station like this on the train and seeing the communist East just flash by your window. Fascinating place. Oh, there's a wee mouse there, do you see him? Hello, buddy. Now, I'm not sure if we've seen all of the exhibition or if there's more of it in here. It might just be those signs dotted around the station, but we'll have a wee look. No, I think that was it, to be honest. But even though there's nothing else to see here, I'm still going to give Nordbahnhof a rating of 9 out of 10, and not just because of its history and the fact that it's still an active station, but because of its location. Wait till you see this. Look, it brings you out at the Berlin Wall. Well, sections of it anyway. The border fortifications were rebuilt incessantly between 1961 and 1989 to improve their efficiency. It just seems so recent when all this crazy stuff was happening, you know? But these days it's a very peaceful little place to come and walk your dog. I like how they've preserved it though.
Ida Sigman, 58 years old. Fatal accident on the 22nd of August, 1961.
Günther Litfin, 24 Jahre. Erschossen am 24. August 1961.
Berlin Wall exhibition and memorial. A massive 10 out of 10. And right next to the wall you've got this beautiful old graveyard. But it looks like even this place was split right down the middle, eh? I'm going to head back into the centre of town now to Alexanderplatz. Now if you saw my Christmas Day video, that's where I had my bratwurst last night. And I'm not ruling out having another one. Maybe the curry version this time. Our wee mouse is still running about. Do you see him? Oh no, which way do we go? I think it's this way. Nah, hold on, I'm on the wrong platform. I should be on that train. Oh well. Me getting lost, who would have thought, eh? I'm just hopping about trains as if I know what I'm doing. I don't, by the way. Let's see how my luck is this time. I just got asked directions by this lad here. I was the wrong person to ask, I'm afraid. Is this train going or what? Are we going the right way? Guess we'll soon find out. And we're back at Alexanderplatz. It'll be interesting to see it in daylight. These places definitely have a bit more about them at night time, don't they? And in fact, the last place on my list for today is another market, so maybe by the time we get there, it'll be dark. I'm not really getting much of a sense for Alexanderplatz while the Christmas market's on, but here you can see a couple of its coolest features. You've got the world clock and the TV tower. I believe the world clock was put here in the 1960s. You see the bit with the numbers? That actually spins round. So as you can see at the moment in Sydney, Canberra and Melbourne in Australia, it's just coming up 10 PM. I think that's how you read it anyway. Now I wonder if we can go up the TV tower. It's worth a look, isn't it? Someplace. Question is, where's the entrance? Up here? Give it a try. Doesn't feel very open up here, does it? Well, it looks like the tower is open. I just spoke to a guy there, he said the entrance is round to the left. No idea how much it is though. What do you think? 20 euro? I'm going with 20. Okay, I think this must be the entrance. Well folks, sorry, I've decided against going up the TV tower. It's almost 30 euros to get in, and all I'd be doing is going up in the lift, doing a quick 360 and straight back down again. So I don't think that represents value for money, to be honest. But if you've been up there and you think I'm missing out, let me know in the comments below. But for me, I'm quite happy just to enjoy the beauty of the tower from down here at street level. As a structure, I think I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It's high. I'll get my panoramic view of Berlin somewhere. We failed with the first attraction this morning. We failed with that one. Where next? The Cathedral, maybe? Now, if I'm not mistaken, that'll be Berlin Cathedral there with its big dome. But I wonder if you can go up inside that big dome. That's the question, isn't it? And the other question is, how do we get across this road? Ah, at last, a crossing. Well, this place has certainly got wow factor. It's like being back in Rome. So there we are, Berlin Cathedral, 10 euros. That's a bit better, isn't it? Let's see what it's like inside. Big door. Ugh. Of course, my luck, construction. I love how it says, please be quiet. Wow. Despite the noise, this is quite cool. Silence. And it says this way to the panoramic view. That sounds promising, doesn't it? I don't think there's a lift, by the way. I'd be taking the stairs anyway, don't you worry. And we've still got 228 steps to go. Oh, still going. Stairs, stairs everywhere. Feels like we're at the base of that dome now. Oh, this is the workout I do not need this afternoon. I need my lunch. Mind your head. And I think this is the final push to the top. It's just getting narrower. I see a door. Hey, that's not bad, is it? Okay, so it's not quite as high as the TV tower, is it? But it's like what they say about the Empire State Building, isn't it? If you go up the Empire State Building, you can't see the Empire State Building. This is a big old city, isn't it? It goes on as far as the eye can see. Oh, look at these guys. When I was saying that Berlin goes on as far as the eye can see, that's actually in all directions. Can't believe how big this city is. And I must say, even though I'm not normally a fan of big cities, my day in Berlin has been really enjoyable. I love this place. But let's be honest, I've barely scratched the surface, eh? I think that's high enough for me. I'm just not in the same league as these guys. Right, let's head back down. It's getting cold up here. A long way to go. There's a little cafe in the cathedral, and I think we just need to try that Mandarin cheesecake, don't we? Yeah, no, how could I not buy this cheesecake, eh? And I always say, until you come to Europe, you haven't tried proper cheesecake. I think Poland still wins, but this stuff is good. Oh yes. I think that'll keep me going for another couple of hours, won't it? Well and truly polished. Fantastic. Berlin Cathedral and your Dom Cafe, you're getting a solid 9 out of 10 from me. And you know what, there's only a couple more places on my list to see today. Just as well, it's starting to get cold. Oh, I like this big heavy door. Especially the pigeon. And we come to yet another Christmas market. This in fact might be the one that I was going to come to, and when I was hoping it might be a wee bit darker, but there we go. I don't think I'll be out until it's too dark tonight, to be honest with you. Now this one's got an entrance fee. €2, would you believe? But have I got €2? That's the question. Hiya. Thank you. Oh, I get the feeling I could be spending more than €2 in here. The setting of this market is absolutely gorgeous. Is that like the university building behind or something? I think so. Oh, and look, they've got reference to the actual meaning of Christmas. You don't see that at every market, do you? Now, of course, I know that Christmas is over and Christmas content is the last kind of thing you want to see now, but the market was here when I was here, so I just thought I'd give you a wee look. And this is classed as one of the best markets, I think, in Berlin. As I say, €2 to get in, but I would say it's worth it, and it will keep the crowds down as well, won't it? I was just passing here and I saw what looks like a Volkswagen Museum. It was this beetle in the window that caught my eye. I wonder if we can go in there. Let's go and have a look, it might be free to get in. I've got no idea what's going on here, but we'll keep going. That's quite a funny concept car. It looks quite normal at the front, and then you go around the side and the back, and not sure about that. Oh, now we're talking. That's one of the most beautiful cars I think I've ever seen. Classic design, eh? And that's not too bad either, is it? We'll just ignore that one. I know it's a bit like a cross between a museum and a car showroom, but I'm glad I came in. Oh, I remember back in the 80s, that's how I was editing my YouTube videos. Right, come on, let's get out of here. No exit. Just off in front of me now, we've got Checkpoint Charlie. Now, this wasn't on my list, and that's because when I read about it and found out that it was just a replica, it kind of lost its appeal, to be honest. I just happened to be passing at the moment as I walked down Friedrichstrasse. Nice cars though. Oh yeah, I think you can rent these. The sign's quite cool though, isn't it? No, not the KFC one. And on the other side, oh, I think this is where you can hire those old cars now. It's called Trabby World. Are they Trabants? Is that what they're called? They're even a bit before my time, would you believe? Now don't get me wrong, I think it's really cool you can hire these and go for a drive around the city, but that's the problem, isn't it? Driving around the city. So it's a no from me. But it looks like you follow a set route, and for 1 hour 15 minutes, 59 euros. 2 hours 15 minutes, 89 euros. It'd be some experience, but Alicia, you can do the driving. And look over here, we've got another way to get a panoramic view of Berlin for 30 euros. It always seems to be 30 euros, doesn't it? Just as well it's closed for high winds. High winds? But anyway, this one's called the Welt balloon. It's a helium balloon, and it'll take you up to 150 meters above Berlin. That's actually quite cool, isn't it? I've had such a good time in Berlin, but like I say, it's a massive city, so if, like me, you're kind of coming for the first time and you're on limited time, it really does pay to plan your journey. Think about an itinerary, the different things you want to see, because I've barely scratched the surface, and even though I've been off and on public transport all day, I've still done about 30,000 steps, so that shows you exactly how it is. Now, I think we'll finish the video by going and getting something to eat. It is my last night in Germany, so I fancy a currywurst. Let's go. Curry 61. Is that currywurst? I think it is, you know. So I might just be standing out in the street, but what do you think about my dinner? Got a beer as well. Cheers. I swear it's the best thing in the world. Oh, that was so good, but you know what? I find it really difficult to rate currywurst because I've never had a bad one in Germany. The only rating I can give it is, did I spill any down my jacket? And I didn't, so we've got a win. folks, that's me back in my hotel room, and I don't think I'll be leaving again tonight, not even to go down to the bar for a wee nightcap. So what did I think of Berlin? Well, it's funny, it's exactly how I thought it would be. I mean, some of the places I went were a bit hit or miss, but I'm glad I went to them all, and there's still plenty of reasons to come back and continue exploring this amazing city. Let me know what you thought of the video, let me know if you've been to Berlin before. But back to my very first question, did Berlin take my breath away? You better believe it did. I've got my eyes on that premiere in bed right now. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Oh, good night.